Hey, good morning on Thursday, September 14th. It's episode 284 of the 359 podcast. I'm your technical producer, BVG, and in the house we've got Alfred and Roger Cheng is finally back with us.
Hey, just taking a break. This is a nice little vacation out in SF. Just
Did you bring
out.
us a bunch of iPhones?
Shh, I did not.
Yeah, thanks for stashing them in your
I was
bag.
like, hey, so can I just take one of these from the demo room? Like, it seems like you got a bunch.
As he was walking out.
Yeah. No, as a security guard starts wrestling me down on the floor.
I would pay good money to see that. Anyways, busy day ahead of us. Roger, what's on the bill?
Yeah, we're ironically not starting out with Apple. We will talk about Apple, but Google came out and teased their Pixel 2 event in October.
October 4th.
October 4th.
Exactly a year from when they released the Pixel.
Yeah, so they're very clockwork-like. So we'll talk about what we want to see in the Pixel 2, and then we'll get into Apple and some of my early impressions with the iPhone X and iPhone 8 Plus and 8, although I know you guys mostly care about the X at this
The
point.
10. It's the 10.
I know. I keep saying X, and I won't stop saying X, damn it.
Well, if Ben's not here today, someone's got to screw up the name.
There you go. And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about Alfred's story on Face ID and how Apple's sort of slow and steady approach kind of helped it with this feature. All right, Brian. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Brian will get the best, and we'll try to answer them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
After the recording of the podcast in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Alfred Eng.
Surprise, surprise. We're not going to talk about Apple yet. Instead, we want to first turn to Google, which teased the launch date of October 4th for the Pixel 2. We're fresh off the launch of the Galaxy Note 8, as well as all the new iPhones. So, Alfred, what do you want to see in the Pixel 2?
For one, a headphone jack. Everyone keeps getting rid of theirs.
It's in the original Pixel, so there's some hope left that
but there have also
jack.
been a lot of leaks saying that it's not going to have the headphone jack, which would be extremely disappointing considering that when they released the Pixel, one of their big selling points was we have a headphone jack and the iPhone 7 doesn't, so haha.
And Samsung made that same point this time around with the S8 and the Note 8.
So if they got rid of it, they'd be hypocrites.
Well, it's been a year. Things have changed.
Things never change.
All right, what else do you want to see?
Well, we're living in a world now where phones are $800 and up for if you want anything of quality for some reason. So I'm really hoping that Google sticks to its affordable price on their Pixel 2.
Yep. You mean more affordable than Pixel 2 or sort of the same level? Because it was like $650. It was a premium phone.
Yeah, I guess the bar for affordable has been lowered now.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah. Affordable and headphone jacks.
Personally, I mean, after seeing these other phones, I want to see a dual camera system on the Pixel 2. I have a 7 Plus right now. Love using the dual cam portrait mode when it works. It doesn't work all the time, but it's great when it does. And I want to see wireless charging. Yep. Everyone else has gotten wireless charging down. Now Apple has it. Google, it's your turn.
Yeah, what's the point of all that unlimited storage if you can't take amazing photos with it?
There you go. All right, back to Apple. So I actually had a chance to play with all the new phones. Spent actually a decent amount of time on them. I'm still wrestling with that $1,150 question because let's face it, you're not paying $1,000 for that iPhone 10. It is, it's $1,000 starting price, but that's 64 gigs, and no one is buying the 64 gig version.
You could buy a MacBook Air for that price, man.
I know, but you could do so much more with your phone.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Than a laptop? Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can. Think about all the millions of apps you can do on your phone.
Think about the millions of games you can play on your laptop.
Can you do anything?
Not on a MacBook.
Can you do anything location based on your Mac? No, you can't.
Yeah, you can. What are you talking about?
No. Can you play Pokemon Go there? Okay. No, you cannot. Sorry.
I'm just saying, I'd much rather have a powerful laptop than a phone.
That you can pull out every 5 minutes? You can't because it's a phone. It's awesome.
All right, so you're saying that you think that it's worth $1,000?
I would say I'm probably going to get it because I'm dumb and I like to buy the newest, greatest things. But it's going to be a tough question for a lot of people. I mean, the big question is removing the home button and relying solely on Face ID is a controversial move because I got a chance to try it. It's not as smooth as using a Touch ID. You've got to look at it. It unlocks, and then you have to swipe to get to the home screen.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's the learning curve on the iPhone 10?
It's going to take a little while. The removal of the home button and having to swipe up, I can see myself getting used to that pretty quickly. But Touch ID, I can put my hand in my pocket with the finger on the button, and by the time I pull it out, I'm ready on the home screen.
What about Face ID though?
That's the thing. Face ID is a lot slower. You've got to put it up to your face. You got to stare at it. Wait for the lock symbol to go unlock, which is admittedly very quick. But then you've got to go back down and swipe up.
Was it as smooth as Apple said it was?
It was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it worked really well. I set it up super quick. It was very similar to like Touch ID where you rotate your face instead of your finger. But, it worked really well. And that's a good segue to your story. I mean, you talked about how Apple took the slow and steady approach for facial recognition, right?
Yeah, so right now Apple has this major hurdle that they have to jump over, which is Face ID has a very bad reputation because of all the other...
Well, not Face ID,
facial recognition does.
Yes.
Because of all the people that basically rushed to, have facial recognition.
Yep.
And then it was basically, this photo can trick it. And, Apple basically, the idea is that they kind of waited until the technology was out there.
Right.
To be able to do it like quickly, efficiently, and without being able to be spoofed.
Yep. So, all right, that's all the time we've got for those stories and more. Check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Alfred.
Thanks for listening. That was a rough ending there.
Whatever.
You guys sneak up on me.
Sorry.
It's
it's not really
down to 4 minutes, dude.
We have our outro. The outro is like 10 seconds long.
You got to give me a better segue.
Maybe we should
Sorry.
outro faster.
I was looking at the clock. We're running out of time.
Maybe we should outro slower. It's like,
We're about
Alfred.
We're about 25 seconds late, so sorry about that.
I need a signal or something. Yeah, right.
There we
That'll
go.
help. All I could think of when you were talking about that story is I got one hand in my pocket and the other one on an overpriced phone. That was actually way more of like a really bad.
I was thinking you made like really good points
Line of
about like all
impression.
the things that you could do on your phone that like you can't do on your laptop. And I'm wondering, does that mean that the $1,000 price point is actually worth it now? Considering how much more you can do on your phone than a laptop.
Yeah.
Which were your points.
Yes.
Does that mean that the $1,000 like price point is actually like, that like actually worth it? Considering that's like
still
an average price for a decent laptop.
Yes. In my mind, it is a clear, when you look at a phone versus a laptop, the phone's a clear winner. It is your main communications device. You can play games on it. You can run apps. You can do location-based services. You can find your friends on it really quickly. You can find directions. You can get turn-by-turn directions. You can't do that on your Mac because there's no location on that Mac. There's no on that device. So to me, yeah, it's worth it because it's become such a big part of my life, more so than my Mac. I mean, I stare at my Mac a few hours of the day for work. I stare at my phone constantly, right? So in my mind, yeah, it's worth it. But then again, I'm a little biased because I like to buy nice, expensive, techy toys because I'm a geek like that, and I tend to lean towards phones anyway, so maybe my advice isn't the most practical.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think about in terms, maybe it's because I'm taking a flight soon, but I'm thinking, if I were to go on a plane and I were to forget one thing at home, would I rather forget my phone or forget my laptop? I feel like I'd rather forget my phone.
Really?
Yeah,
Seriously?
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather.
That's the dumbest thing ever. How would you contact anybody?
Can you
could
call
go
an
to like
Uber
a
on your laptop?
Starbucks and like,
And what? Yeah, you
I don't
have
know,
to
get
go
on
to
Wi-Fi.
you have to go to a Starbucks. You have to find a Wi-Fi network. If you're at the airport, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I just like prefer.
I think you're
having a
far more
laptop on me.
inconvenienced without a phone. Now,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
that
for sure.
I defend you
I mean,
to an extent where I think
The Mac,
the phone is not
a
as
computer is definitely useful, but I mean, in terms
One
of
is
like
one is
critical
the other.
Maybe I'm
situations-
just a lot more like work and like game minded because it's like I don't do like it can't do a lot of work or play
I mean,
games.
even
on
for
my-
a simple fact of like, you can't really make a phone call unless you find a Wi-Fi.
you can use
network.
Google Voice on it. I mean, yeah, you need to find
You
a
need
Wi-Fi network, but yeah,
though.
sure.
That's a thing.
All right, okay, I'm wrong.
It's fine to have your opinion.
No. It's apples and
totally-
oranges.
Yeah,
and
this is
no
my
pun
opinion.
intended.
That was your opinion. That's totally fine. But look, back to the original question was like, is it worth $1,000? Yeah, I mean, if you're a lot of the features that they're introducing in the iPhone 10, I don't actually think you necessarily need. I think you're pretty happy with an iPhone 8 Plus, especially if you're due for an upgrade. Like if you have an iPhone 7, you should not be buying a new phone. Like these upgrades are not really worth it, unless you just absolutely need to have the latest and greatest, which is why I'm doing that exact.
You could also
same
be
thing.
pretty happy with a Pixel 2 or any other
That's the thing.
Android phone.
I mean, a Pixel 2, we'll have to see how much the Pixel 2 costs. I think you bring up a great point, and like the bar has been raised on
Yeah,
what like
I don't know
a
if-
premium phone costs versus an affordable phone. So yeah, will Google like sort of take its cues now? Because
Yeah.
like the Note 8 is $930. This starts at $999. Those are some crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if Google at this point, after seeing the price points for the Note 8 and the iPhone 10, are like, wait, you can set phone prices that high?
Yeah, exactly. Like, can we just change all those prices right now?
Add a few zeros.
Add a few $100. Good to go. Well, what was that point you're trying to make about Cracker Barrel?
Oh, so I saw a tweet from somebody that got really popular that was basically saying that the entire menu of Cracker Barrel costs less than the iPhone 10. So, there are things there that you can, there's better things that you can spend that money on.
But you can use the iPhone 10 to have Cracker Barrel delivered to your house.
No, but can you?
I don't know.
I don't
Can you
think
get
so.
all of Cracker Barrel, though?
That's true. I would say all of Cracker Barrel would probably not even be half of what the iPhone 10. Like Cracker Barrel is known for like affordable food that with huge portions. And so,
Yeah, family meal.
I believe it's
Big
like
family
about
food.
like 800 or something. Somebody actually did the math on this. I got to find it
That's
now.
bonkers.
I mean,
Well, it's not that
I would
bonkers.
argue though, if you ate that Cracker Barrel meal, that entire Cracker Barrel menu, you would die.
I'm telling you,
I
we
think
should
it's-
Like your heart would just stop.
I think it's safe to say I
Sorry.
would hate myself equally.
if we expensed it, instead of us shelling out money for the new phone, just let me go to Cracker Barrel and just.
Alfred just
I
wants a
think we're
free
gonna.
meal.
I think we're gonna buy the phone. Dude.
Okay, the entire
Sorry.
Cracker Barrel menu cost $887.71.
I didn't realize there were that many items on the menu that would add up. I mean, they're all
It's
fairly
a pretty
affordable.
big menu, but
It's all affordable though. That's the thing.
does it count variations? We are talking
I
way
don't
too
know.
long.
I know we spent so much time on Cracker Barrel.
We should
I just
actually-
like Cracker Barrel's food, so that's why I wanted to talk.
I've never
about it a
eaten
bit.
there, but
It's like the best road trip food. 'Cause
Careful.
I
You
could
don't
buy
wanna
their
endorse
whole.
it too hard.
I could
Yeah,
buy
you're
their whole
right,
menu.
You're right. I mean, I actually haven't gone since then. So
All right, so we should actually jump into the chat.
yeah, sorry. We'll take your questions. I had a chance to try all the iPhones, so please ask me whatever questions. I will try my best to answer them. I got most of the details, hopefully, that you'd want.
Well, Watson, who's become one of our more recent regulars, we want to give him a shout out.
What up, Watson?
What do you guys think about Apple saying that calling on LTE on the Apple Watch without iPhone connection will only be 1 hour and 4 hours for playing music?
Yeah, they did a little bit of weird math with their argument for all day battery because they said it's still all day
18
battery,
hours.
right? But that's some mixed use of LTE, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. And I think if you look at the fine print, if you use your LTE connection for any significant amount of time, it really kills the battery,
Yeah,
which
that's
isn't a surprise.
serious deal breaker because I in a previous podcast I had been talking about how I was considering using that as my primary phone. I think I'm trying to get away from my phone, dude.
I think that's the thing. It's impressive enough that they got the LTE radio into a watch that small. Like no other connected watch looks that compact, right? So kudos for that. But they had to give up something, and it seemed like the battery life. I wouldn't trust it to go even half a day if you're using it independently of your phone for any significant amount of time.
I think
that's a huge loss. So
Yeah, I think it's a
everyone at the
serious
top
deal
of
breaker.
everybody's list. I know
Yeah.
this is the watch, but the watch is essentially a phone now. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Right.
The
It's a
top of
smart
everyone's list
pager.
is better battery, better battery, better battery. Every phone, every device, everything you have to carry around in your godforsakenly technical day.
Yep.
Everybody needs better battery life, and they still just let's see. This
Well,
one
I mean,
lights
look,
up.
like I said, I think they wanted to keep it to the same size. They kind of understood that a lot of people are really turned off by those ultra bulky watches
True.
that Android makes, that Android Wear runs,
Which
or
inevitably is
Samsung.
where the battery comes into play.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, it's kind of amazing that they were able to fit that much into it. But yeah, something had to give.
Here's what we need. We need to get like blimps over specific urban areas, and the blimp just kind of rains down
Wireless power.
Yeah,
Dude,
rains down.
that's
key.
coming, man.
I thought you were talking about raining down Wi-Fi
sounds like
signals
some-
because that's something that
Well, that-
Facebook's looking into.
Yeah, I know that's already kind of in process, but
that's
I'm talking
okay.
about raining down key so that we end up like
Wait, you
something
mean
in place.
Qi?
Qi, sorry.
So it's not Qi. It's actually Qi is only. Let's get technical for a second. It's magnetic resonance. So you actually have to be like stuck onto it.
Yeah,
But there
yeah.
are different There's different standards for wireless power where they're broadcasting it like Wi-Fi. Stuff hasn't really been approved by the FCC yet, but companies are working on it. And Apple was rumored to be pushing for some of that true wireless power to come through and maybe subsequent
Yeah, because what could
generations.
go wrong with electricity flowing through the air?
Well,
and
they
powering
argue
your
it's
devices?
basically running at the same frequency as Wi-Fi. So, like, if basically it's as safe as Wi-Fi. That's what they argue. I don't know if it's actually true yet, but yeah.
Conspiracy theorists are already working against this one.
I mean, yeah, it's a freaky idea, right?
It is a weird
power
idea.
going through your body to somebody else's Apple Watch or iPhone.
through your body. Oh, I
'Cause,
thought
like-
we would be powering.
No,
we would be the
no. Like,
batteries.
there's someone behind you with an Apple Watch.
That's a
Needs
good
to
idea
put
for a movie.
Put a battery in me, man. I could use it some of these days. Nothing.
And what else we got?
Okay, back into the chat. Matt Eldridge, what do you think about the OLED on the iPhone X?
Oh yeah, it was nice. I gotta say,
Pretty.
It was very pretty, but it's been around on Samsung phones for a while, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. It's definitely more vibrant. They say it's more power efficient, but our colleague David Katzmeyer says that that's a little bit negligible on small screens like that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to his like detailed review on that
but
one.
in terms of like the color, like the blacks are truly black. You know, the colors are very vibrant. They just pop. And yeah, it looks gorgeous. They showed me a bunch of photos that they took with the iPhone 10, and they look gorgeous. Back
into the chat. First name, surname, Alfred. You're the reason the world can't move on if you're that desperate for the headphone jack. Dan McLean goes on to expand. Alfred Ng is a millennial trying to be a curmudgeon.
These are both true.
I love this. I love you guys.
Also, I mean, I don't think I'm single-handedly stopping people from moving on from headphone jack.
Maybe you are. That's the kind of force you are in the tech world.
Yeah, Samsung watches all these podcasts. Alfred hasn't changed
They probably
yet.
have an intern watching these podcasts, just in case you mess with them.
You're climbing the hit list.
Oh, boy.
Take it as a badge of honor.
I think that, not everybody has Bluetooth headphones yet, and I think that, it's very annoying especially if you're like in an older car and you don't have, Bluetooth in the car yet, and you just have an auxiliary cord from like that little cassette tape thing that works like magic somehow.
Yeah.
It's the cassette thing that has the aux cord on it.
Yeah, I know.
I have no clue how it works, but it's amazing.
That's a sign of a true millennial mobile.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It changes that whole game though with like the aux cable. That in itself, that was a battle before.
Amazing. But no, I really think the headphone ports are great. I think if you use Bluetooth headphones, that's awesome. I personally don't like having to charge my headphones also. I just like, that was the thing. It's so annoying to me.
Yeah.
Most of them are getting pretty darn good though.
I just feel like there's certain things that shouldn't be charged.
Actually, what I'm hoping for, and Apple kind of addressed this, is wireless charging in your Bluetooth headphones. Like you get one pad, you put your iPhone there, you put your whatever headphone, your Bluetooth headphones there. They all charge at the same time.
That's pretty sharp.
Yeah,
and
that'd be nice.
As we see that start rolling out in public spaces.
They're going to be offering the wireless charging case for the AirPods.
Yep.
So they're kind of addressing that, but I'd love to see it just integrated right into the headphones themselves.
Absolutely.
Not that the deal is.
But then it's going to be easier to lose them.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
I don't hear a lot of people complaining about that though.
I've actually never seen people lose their AirPods.
I'm really surprised by that actually, because I feel like they just fly off.
I feel like because they're so expensive, people pay more attention.
That's true. That's true.
It's like people with Ray-Bans.
I've lost like 6 or 7 pairs of headphones, and those are cables too. But then again, let me just my personal perspective from the headphone thing, just as like an audiophile studio guy, it's nice to have the option more than anything else. I'm kind of a late adopter. I've come to love Bose Sound Sports. I know there are a lot of great options out there. Those are just the ones that happen to be in my possession right now. I'm getting used to it, but I still kind of miss the days when I can like swap back to my big buckets.
Yes.
Like
that's the big thing, is you lose the option of switching out headphones.
I don't appreciate it, and I also don't like the fact that when you only have like USB-C or Lightning, the fact that you can't listen to music if you have like a headphone dongle and like charge your phone at the same time. Right. It's very frustrating.
Let's talk about wireless. I love this comment.
Just wireless in general?
Yeah, in general.
There's no wires on it.
Yeah, there are. It's a wire-free phone.
Storm King asks, will any wireless charger work with the new iPhones?
No, you need to have a Qi-approved wireless charger, and that's a big deal because there are a lot of wireless charging pads and stands on Amazon that are not Qi-approved. They're they're cheaper. And you gotta kind of look for legit ones for it to work. So, and that's actually really the case for a lot of wireless charging devices. Like with the Samsung phone, if you buy a non-approved one, I don't think they work as well. Mm-hmm. And Samsung actually made some tweaks to its phone, so it works better with like Samsung-approved wireless charging stations too.
Did you get to try the wireless charging on their phone?
No, I mean I did play with like moving it up around the charging pad.
I'm curious about how long it would take to actually get like a full charge.
From what I understand, it's a little bit slower than. It's definitely slower than.
It'll always be slower than plugging.
I think it might be slower than like the Android version of wireless charging. So
that's
some other phones.
That's already slow. So.
Yeah.
Turn that over on its head. In the reverse, will Apple's charging pads work with other non-Apple devices? Shout out Matthew Datcher.
Hey Matt, great question. I'm not sure yet because it's the charging pad's not coming out till next year, and Apple's saying that they're trying to put these standards into the broader Qi community, and so it's really up to the other handset makers to adopt these different standards.
I think a number of manufacturers will start to jump on that train, though.
It should work if it's working through Qi, though. I mean, I can't say for sure. But.
No, because they have Apple's introducing some new technology that allows for like multiple devices to charge.
Oh, that thing, yes.
And so I don't know if that is going to be It may not be supported by existing products, but I assume future products going forward might have that same support.
Let's go ahead and great fill-in here from Michael Brown. Apple failed miserably by not calling their upcoming wireless charging pads the Apple Juice.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea, man. You should patent it. Just patent it now.
Yes,
You
Mike.
could make
Juice.
your own charging pad.
Yeah, you
and
make
do
your own
that
charging
instead.
pad.
Why would you want Apple to do that?
Just
Markets itself.
go to China, go to Shenzhen. Literally, just ask for a mock-up of a charging pad.
Who's in charge here?
Yeah, just walk into the city, like, all right, I need a charging pad. Help me out.
And just for the record,
I bet you it would take them less than a day to figure that out.
it is Qi, right?
Yes.
It is, yes,
I want to say Ki because that's how you see it in like
That's how
No,
it is in
it's
Kung
Dragon
Fu
Ball.
movies and yeah.
but it's Qi.
Okay.
It's Chinese.
Actually, no, they pronounce it Chi in Dragon Ball as well. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
You would
I
know.
think Qi is the English version, right?
Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
But anyways, it's Chinese for energy,
Right.
so which is pronounced Qi.
Michael Brown,
chocolate.
another comment from Michael Brown. Personally, I think all the premium phones are great. It's harder to find a bad premium phone these days. It's all about the ecosystem, and I think Google, the Pixel, falls short. Real short.
Wow.
And branching off of that, Goran says Pixel 2 will be crippled and overpriced V30. It's easy to see why Apple removed 3.5, but Google will make the huge mistake following Apple again.
Interesting that they call it compared to the V30 because I would compare it
Don't
more
you
to
have
the
a V30?
HTC.
I have a
phone.
V10. I'm old, but the V30 is very, very
But
much on
it's
the
not
top of the
LG's
chatter
not the
right
rumored
now.
manufacturer of this phone. I think HTC is.
Right.
The better comparison would be the U11, really,
I mean,
which was that phone that you squeezed.
from the manufacturer's
skeezy phone.
standpoint, but from a user experience standpoint, perhaps they're just because it's kind of top of the dog pile right now.
What, the V30?
It's up there.
Well, I mean, I would say the Note 8's probably.
Well,
Better.
yes, I don't know. I've seen a lot of chatter about the V30, at least in our chats.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's the angle they're coming from.
It's interesting because I feel like in the U.S. market, the LG phones are they're not resonating.
I'm
at all.
surprised. I'm surprised that Michael
But remember,
Brown.
we have a huge international audience.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I'm surprised that Michael Brown thinks that the Google Pixel falls short when it comes to the ecosystem because I've always felt that Google has one of the best ecosystems.
Yeah, if you think about Gmail, Docs,
Calendar, all this
they've
stuff,
got all
yeah.
this other service, Google Photos. I think Google
and then,
Photos
with
is better than Apple
Chromecast,
Photos.
Google Home.
Right.
Honestly, I would argue its ecosystem's better than Apple's ecosystem, but
I think that's a fair argument to make.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see where he thinks it falls short, but
Maybe he's talking about
probably-
in terms of the family of products.
that could be it.
Because
Yeah.
I guess there was a Google tablet, but there's no Mac. There's no, there's
Yeah,
all the other
it's
stuff that
only
works
just
together.
like the Pixel, like the
Right.
phone itself,
And then they've got
like,
their Chromebooks, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
but it doesn't really fit along with that.
Yeah.
So here's a really great question from Garel. Do y'all think the Pixel will be another Verizon exclusive, or will Google be able to get more carriers on board?
Ooh.
I'm very interested in that
That's a
myself because
great
I'm
question.
grandfathered in at AT&T.
I don't know. I mean, I think they had a lot of success with Verizon as a partner. That's the thing. Like when you partner with a carrier, you do get a lot more promotional positioning. You get better spots in the store. If they strike deals with every carrier, I mean, they tried that before. It didn't work so well. But I don't know. I would like to see the Pixel broadly available. But
course,
I don't know.
They'll
if
probably
that's the
do
smart
it as
decision.
an exclusive again, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Essential was an exclusive with Sprint, which I still don't understand why they did that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that happening with Verizon.
Sprint people like notches. I don't know.
Or is that what we're calling it now? Because there's been several different names for that little area on the top.
I feel like with the Essential one, they kept calling. I hear notch a lot.
Okay.
I don't know what else they call it.
What are they? Sorry, yeah, just ask a question.
Go on to the next question. We should not dwell on the notch.
Last call for questions for this week. We got a good one here from AI Pimp. Awesome name.
Wow.
So that AR stuff Apple showed, can any other new flagship phone do any of that?
No.
Great question. I mean, other iPhones
Specifically
can do
those,
It.
no.
Yeah, like the Note. You mean like the Samsung
Is he talking about
phones or
the AR kit stuff that you record with, or the AR stuff on the front, like Animoji and stuff?
I'm assuming the AR kit stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, in terms of AR kit, there are, I guess, other phones that could do AR. Phones have been able to do AR for years, but in terms of how smoothly that worked, that's a little bit tough. I would say I think the Pixel.
Wait and see. That's still a stage show.
No, I tried it. I tried
you
the
got to try
demo.
it?
It is freaking awesome.
Is it cool?
Like the machines demo that I saw, I was moving around and
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
did you play that game?
Yeah, it's cool.
That game looks sick.
I'm super excited, and it's not just for the new phones. Like iPhone 7, iPhone 6s, I think should be able to run
Do
it.
you expect people to trip and fall though as they're trying to play that game?
Probably.
because
They'll bump into each other.
Yeah, that's what
Because you're staring at your phone, but you're moving all over the place. It was fun though.
I thought the sports stat thing was pretty cool. I also really liked the whole like look up at the sky, get the constellations.
Yeah,
I've always been kind of into that.
I mean, look, some of this stuff is already out there for the other phones. You're just hearing a lot more about it right now because Apple's making a big deal of it.
Well, yeah,
but it's just done differently.
It did look like it was just. I mean, it looks like it's finally starting to get refined. I'm glad to hear that you got firsthand experience and are still pleased with it. I really want us to go take it out and get the real sports stats in real time when we do our review. But we gotta talk Scott Stein to not go to a Jets game for once.
Wait, I had missed the sports part. So how does that work? Like you put it on your TV screen, or like you go to an actual game and you put it at like a player or something?
I'm guessing the TV screen is probably more akin to that, but I don't know. What did you see out of it?
I didn't see a lot of the sports stuff. To be honest. I was playing with the games. I was like Thomas the Train.
I can't imagine it working unless every teammate has got like a chip in their helmet or something, right?
No, because it's really, Google kind of showed this off with Google Lens, which we still haven't seen. It's basically it's image recognition, right? And geolocation is, and they see it, they recognize what that is, and then something pops up. So.
Yeah. Again,
I'm excited for AR though. I'm surprised they didn't make as big a deal as they did at WWDC, but the AR stuff is, I think, the coolest tech.
Yeah, then I can finally have photos with my friends.
You can have friends in general.
You can just put AR friends in the background.
it's
Alfred.
only a matter of time until somebody makes that app.
I know.
Add a friend. Use AR to copy paste iStock photos into the background.
All my buddies.
Let's get on that.
All right,
that's a perfect place to wrap it up.
Yeah,
good week.
All right, if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music. See you all next week. Whew.
It's also on CNET.com.
Have a good Apple-less weekend.
There you go.